Hi manifestors, Meera Allen with your Manifesting Destiny Moon Update. And I wanted to say a heartfelt happy 2024. I did miss you guys at Christmas. I didn't do the full moon at Christmas because I was with my family at Christmas time, and that was a beautiful time this year, so that was lovely. I wanted to get into this new moon update for the year, but also I did a card beforehand to set the tone of what 2024 is. And when I did my little meditation beforehand, I picked a card from the Australian native bird deck. Oh, I'm just throwing things around. That one, put the right way up. Because right before I recorded this video, a bird came and sat on my balcony and just looked at me and just tilted its head and then flew away. And I thought, okay, I've got to pick an overarching card from the bird deck, because I always call it the bird deck. And this is what I got. So before we get into the times for the new moon and everything, this is a little 2024 collective new moon guidance from that little bird that came to the balcony this morning. All right. Brolga. Simple and spacious landscapes. Maybe the bucket list is too big. Throw some things out. Material things, some projects, desires. Just throw a few things out and create simple and spacious inner and outer landscapes. Look at that. Just happy, beautiful, simple spaciousness. And, you know, normally a new moon video for the first new moon in Capricorn of the year, it's all about, write your bucket list, get things sorted, get planned. It's very go, 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 set your intentions and do your New Year's resolutions and yada, yada, yada. And it all feels so hard, like the Capricorn, the mountain goat that's precariously climbing up that steep mountain that you've got to get to the top. It's very ambitious and it's very, tough going kind of thing. And it was beautiful to pick this card. Simple and spacious landscapes. Inner and outer. And that really, really made me think about meditation. The inner, simple, spacious landscapes within. And we start to really see this world as what it is, the Maya, the illusion. I mean, hasn't COVID shown everybody that over the last few years, and people have had to really pare back what is it they're passionate about and what is it they're here on the planet for, and what is the real purpose of your life, this lifetime, and how do you choose to spend your time and energy. Anyway, so that's just a little tone setting for 2024, which was quite simple and spacious. I love that. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Happy new moon in Capricorn. My name is Meera Allen. If you're new to the channel, I do little manifesting moon updates for the new moon and the full moon, and manifesting videos in between when I do feel spacious and inspired to share them. So I don't bombard you with a hell of a lot of stuff. I just keep it simple and spacious. I think I'm going to really lock that in. All right. The new moon in Capricorn is in LA, January the 11th at 3:57 a.m. New York, it's at 6:57 a.m. London, 11:57. Sydney, Australia at 10:57 at night. You can always look up wherever you are in the world for your new moon time. The words for this new moon are innovation, leadership, lessons learned, transformation, explosive and power-packed. So, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. So when we think about the new moon in Capricorn and the sun is in Aquarius, Aquarius looks at a new vision. Aquarius is that innovation and leadership and an avant-garde way of looking at the world and seeing of how things could be in the possibilities, and using the mind in an air visionary way. But then Capricorn gives you the gusto and the daily determination and the reliability and the work ethic and the day-to-day hard steps, and it gives us the discipline to keep that consistency and that rhythm in our daily efforts. But the beautiful vision that's guiding that, it can be transformative, it can be innovative, and it can be based on the lessons that we've learned over the last year. For most people, 2023 was a series of ups and downs. From a lot of people I've spoken to, they were hard hit with things, but then they were also given little gifts in that, and they learnt lots of lessons, and they shifted their trajectory quite a lot. And a big part of last year was actually like this Brolga card. It was, it was about finding space, throwing things out, creating simplicity, is the bucket list too big, and taking that pressure off. Because it's not sustainable if we keep pushing and pushing and pushing. It's a very yang way of living all the time. And we are part of nature. So our yin part of ourself must prevail as a natural being. We don't look at a flowering bud and scream at it like, hurry up, this is the goals that we're setting for you. You've got to bloom really soon. Like, we don't do that. We water the plant, we let it bloom, and when it opens, it opens, and we enjoy its fragrance and we enjoy its lifespan. So we don't pressure a flower that hard, and that's nature. Why do we need to pressure ourselves to that level? This is a mental construct, part of the Maya, an illusion that we live in. And this illusion is getting thinner. And the greater powers that be in terms of the financial worlds, this is starting to shift and crumble because people are realizing, well, this is not so important. There will be people that will be lost in, lust, greed, anger, and attachment. And that's fine. And that's the journey that they walk upon. But there is a vast majority, or should I say a critical mass of people that are understanding the simplicity and the spaciousness that they want 2024 to be. So my message really is about this new moon in Capricorn. You think about new moon, it's a new year, it's a new start. And before the Gregorian calendar, we only had the lunar cycles to focus on as our rhythm and as our true calendar. And women that are not on the menstrual pill, we know that we cycle and we sync up with the 28 days of the lunar cycle, and it becomes our rhythm of our bodies. So let's get into these words as well. Explosive, power-packed, transformative, lessons learned, innovation, and leadership. Where can you choose to take your innovation, your leadership? Where can you learn from the lessons of the past, of that 2023 or even earlier? What do you want to be power-packed and explosive with for 2024? And is it less than what you originally had planned in your mind's eye 5 years ago? And have you given yourself permission to take yourself off the hook and to do less? And to bud like that flower. It just opens out. And instead of trying to push yourself to make a giant, massive garden of everything, you just allow yourself to flower to the things that are creating that simplicity and that harmony for your life. So I'm going to read a little bit from Yasmin Boland's Moonology book, which I absolutely love. Yasmin Boland, another fellow Australian, which is amazing. She says, this is the last new moon before Pluto makes its mighty first 21st century foray into the sign of Aquarius, where it hasn't been since 1798. Whoa. What does this mean? When Pluto moves into the sign of Aquarius. Let's just first talk about Pluto. For those of you that are a novice to the whole, had some feedback recently that maybe I just delved too much, too fast, too quick and get in there. So I'm going to pare things back to make sense a little deeper. When we look at our solar system and how we dance around the sun and all the planets, and we're dragged around by Jupiter's force, and we're all going around in our little dance around the sun, and we have these influences, just as, we as individuals, if we go spin close to the ocean, that has an influence on us. If we spin close to the inner land, that has an influence on us. If we spin closer to a city, that has an influence on us. So wherever we are in our environment, in terms of our little physical world, that has an influence on us. It impacts us. When it's the celestial bodies, as we're dancing around this giant solar system in our galaxy, that also too has an influence on our planet as a whole. Now, a planet like Pluto, which Pluto's tricky because they say it's a dwarf planet, it's a quarter of the size of Earth, and it's too small to be considered a real planet. So that keeps changing over the years. You know, something like 100 years ago, Pluto was considered the final planet in the outer edges of our solar system. And then recent years, they say, no, Pluto's not a planet anymore. It's what we call a dwarf planet. We don't consider it a planet. So they've changed it. I don't think Pluto gives a crap what we name it. Pluto is still one of the planets that is circling around with us in our own solar system. It just happens to be the last one at the very end. It happens to be the runt of the pack, and it happens to be on the outskirts of the very edge of our solar system, and it dances around with us. But what's cool about Pluto is, because it's right at the external, at the edge of our solar system, it can also be a little bit wild and out there. It can also be a little bit of an observer because it sees everything that's going on in front of it. It's like the youngest in a biggest family. It's like the youngest or the littlest kid from the outside that's like, yeah, I've seen all this before. You know, it's kind of checking it out and does its own wild thing. So Pluto can bring some unexpected changes. Pluto can sometimes be known as something and then can be known as something else. Pluto can also be a little bit of that disguise that we missed, or the secret part of us that we go, oh, I haven't delved into that. It was sort of sitting in the outer brain, or I was going to write that book, or I was going to do this little thing, or I had this idea about living in a blah, 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 or going to this country once, and it was just sitting in the outskirts of my consciousness. But when that moves from one astrological body to another, it's moving into Aquarius. The most out there planet is moving into a new vision. It's observing and it's seeing a whole new way for our little life here on Earth. Okay, let's keep going into this. One thing to know about Aquarius is that it is all about humanity. Love that. So whatever you do this month, and whatever new moon wishes you make, keep the entire planet's population in mind. So it's like your own new moon vision, your own new intention for 2024 is going to have an impact, because we're all one soul on humanity on that level. We're all droplets of that one ocean soul, you know? This new moon could be very magical. But first of all, you have to believe in your powers. Do you believe in your own powers? Do you know deep down that you are more powerful and able to shape and bend your reality than you may think? Maybe you've had a tough upbringing, or maybe somebody made you feel powerless. Maybe you forgot your abilities. Right now, as a new year begins, it starts to reveal more and more of the future you. You can work your magic. First, decide if you're going to stay in or come out of the magical closet. Are you going to let people know that you believe you have the power to shape your life? Or are you going to go back and work on it in secret? It's a very Plutonian thing. Pluto is being triggered this new moon, and it's all about secrets. However, the new moon energy makes it a really good time to admit, even if only to yourself, that you know you are capable of all kinds of wonders. Just after the new moon comes a super positive alignment between Mars and expansive Jupiter. The stage is set for all of us to do our thing with gusto. What can you do that harms no one but makes you feel powerful? Go out and do that. Transform your psychology and change your life. As the new moon triggers Pluto, the planet of transformation, we make an honest inventory of the thoughts that we're thinking. Which thoughts need to be healed? When we go into a negative thought spiral or negative mindset, can we recognize the thoughts that you're having might be no good for you? The unconscious behaviors you sometimes find yourself acting out? Or any habitual thoughts that hold you back from achieving your true potential. Once you have identified them, you can start to acknowledge them as they arise and then thank them and then work through them. Find their source and eventually just move away from them. And isn't that the classical thing of manifesting? Sometimes the thing that's the most difficult thing in our life and that's been the most hindrance becomes our biggest blessing. And the thing that we're stuck with the most becomes the thing that we end up going, oh, I love that the most. And sometimes it's the things that get taken away from us that we realize, oh, I actually really love this, and it's like we see it. For me, I haven't been able to do heaps of yoga or heaps of dancing, and I didn't realize, over 2 years I haven't danced enough at all. And to go back to that, shout out drum and bass crew, love you all so much. It's been so nourishing and soul fulfilling. So anyway, have a look at your thoughts and discover what it is that you can do to work through them, find their source, and eventually move away from those negative thoughts that are blocking you from being that new vision of you. I really, really feel like it's an important thing to set what it is you'd like to see and allow yourself maybe not to be so hard with it, but enjoy the vision of it. When it's Aquarius and Capricorn, it can be sometimes like, right, I see this, I've got to do it, I've got to go for it, I've got to go. But have that simple spaciousness. Have that simple spaciousness just to throw a few things out and create a simple and spacious inner and outer landscape. I really invite you this new moon to do things different. 2024 can be really different for everybody, and it will be. And 2026, according to the World Economic Forum, is going to be another big wobbly prediction, or should I say plan, that they have. But we as the sovereign human beings, with this one soul in this collective consciousness, spinning on this little star blue planet around our sun, in this galaxy with Pluto watching from the outskirts and the edges, we get to manifest a life on earth as the earthlings that we really are. This is our earth. This is our life. This is our land. This is our waters. This is our sun. This is our air. This is our time to create something magic that could be different from the worlds and the earth that we've known before. In the Vedic calendar, we look at these things like the shift from Kali Yuga into Sat Yuga, and we start to move from the era of that attachment and greed and desire, and we move into Sat Yuga. Sat means truth in Sanskrit. So the yoga, the era of truth and compassion. And there's a lot of non-attachment. There's a lot of simplicity. There's a lot of spaciousness. I'm going to devote my weekend to dancing. That's simple. That's so simple. That's it. That's all I really want to do is dance and meditate on the dance floor and create some spaciousness inside. That's it. What is it, your little short-term baby goals that you could do just the way Capricorn does it, and it becomes your daily habit, your weekly habit. It becomes your flow. And imagine if you do those little habits every day, every week, just a little bit, and by the end of the year, you've spent how many hours on your goal and you thoroughly enjoyed it. Nothing needs to be a chore. Nothing needs to be called a bucket list. Instead, it gets to be your joyfulness, something that you surrender into, something that you love and enjoy. And you can create that space for 2024 to vision the life, the home, the people, the ease and grace, the dreams, and let it be with that simplicity. My name is Meera Allen, and somebody's actually trying to ring me at this point. And I hope you enjoy your new moon update in Capricorn and have a beautiful 2024. I will catch you on the full moon, and if not before that, with a manifesting video. I am going to put a little link somewhere for your manifesting meditation that I do hope you thoroughly enjoy, and go into that spaciousness and allow yourself to vision your 2024 and beyond the way you've always seen it, in that simplicity and in that divine love. You're truly special. Thank you for getting through to the end of this video if you're here. And if you haven't subscribed, or if you think somebody else is needing a little bit of inspiration for their 2024 and you want to share this video, that'd be epic. If you want to comment, I love it. You know, it helps all the algorithms and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I appreciate you all, especially the ones that have been with me for years and years. And happy 2024 and happy new moon in Capricorn. Namaste.